Welcome to the Pope Prep High School Football Coaches Show. Today's show is brought to you by Clausen Group Realtors, local real estate sales, investment, and property management. We treat your home like it's our own. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, please welcome the host of the Main Street Preps High School Football Preview Show, Kyle Reynolds, and Pope Prep head coach, Brian Sneed. Welcome into the Pope Prep Coaches Show, as always, joined by Coach Brian Sneed. Welcome.
Thanks, Kyle.
And Friday night, it was a tough ball game for you. It was one that was in the region, not the division, against a very good Chattanooga Christian football team. Talk a little bit about how that game played out for you. It was a close one there for a while. They kind of put the game away there in the second half. Talk a little bit about your performance.
Yeah, and that was it was tough and frustrating. That was a game that we thought, especially at halftime with a 20-13 lead, that we could come out and maybe finish things off in the second half. And we had opportunities to do that. We had several plays where we had opportunities to score in the second half and just, didn't execute the way we needed to and just barely missed here or there. Defensively, I thought we played well the first half. The second half, I think that they kind of figured some things out that we were doing and able to move the ball a little bit better on us. Ended up scoring 2 touchdowns and taking the lead. And offensively, we were leaning on the run game. They started putting more guys in the box, made it tougher on us to run. And like I said, we missed a couple plays in the passing game that could have kind of broken that game open for us. So, it was a tough one, especially with the season that we've had. We've had some tough games, and that was one that we thought we would be able to get once we started off the way what we did, taking like I said, a 20-13 lead into halftime, kick return for a touchdown to give us the lead back. We got an onside kick, got some points out of that, went down the field in a 2-minute drill and got a field goal to kind of push it out to 20. We blocked an extra point early on to keep that lead at 7, which was huge. I thought our special teams played well overall to be able to get those points and kind of keep us with some momentum in that first half, and we just weren't able to sustain it in the second half. And Chattanooga Christian did a good job of coming back and making some plays.
There's no such thing as a healthy football player in late October. Elijah Robb gets banged up a week ago. Mm-hmm. You're not sure during the week if he's going to be able to go or not, but he goes. He has another great night. He's now 7 yards away from being the all-time leading rusher, single-season leading rusher here at the school. Yeah. Talk about his performance, but more importantly, what the offensive line has helped do him and some of the blocking that they've been able to provide for him to get the yards that he's gotten this year.
Yeah, so first, credit to our training staff. Chris Curran and Jordan Shuck, both new athletic trainers for us. I think they've done a great job all season of keeping our guys healthy as possible. What I really like about their style is they're not just treating symptoms. They're trying to make sure that the guys are going to get back to as close to 100% as possible. We're not just putting Band-Aids on stuff and get back out there and let's just hold together till the end of the season. They're really trying to make sure that they're rehabbing and prehabbing and doing all those things to get our guys healthy. And that was evident in this week in practice with Elijah. I thought they had a good plan to kind of work him back in. He had a light day on Tuesday, a little bit more reps on Wednesday, a little bit modified Thursday than what we usually do with him. And then, he felt good enough to go and have 77 yards, and put himself towards the top of our all-time rushing list for a season. And then, obviously credit our offensive line for being able to allow him to have the season that he's been having. Those guys don't get a ton of credit. What's exciting about that group is that all of them are going to be back next year. A bunch of young guys up there. You got Carter Taylor at center, Drew, who's a sophomore, Drew Price at guard is a junior, and Sam Spicer is a junior, Will Johnson is a junior. Jairus Jones has been working there at tackle, who's a sophomore. So, and then our tight ends, Kyron Coleman and Xander Palma have been doing a good job as well. Kyron being a sophomore, Xander being a junior. So, up front, that's been kind of the core of our team, and they're all young up there. Our whole team really is young, but when you have a guy who's been able to have the season rushing that Elijah's had, you got to give those guys up front credit. Thomas A. Jack has been coming in and out as a senior and kind of helping us when guys get banged up and kind of solidifying some big formations for us, being the extra lineman in there. So he's been doing a good job too. And but yeah, So we need to keep relying on that group going into this next game, region opponent, FRA, and then into the playoffs.
Well, you went from being a defensive coordinator where your sole focus during the game was calling defensive plays and things. And it certainly helps when you have guys like Philip Montgomery or Andrew Park over there who's working with offensive line, working with offense. It allows you now to be a head coach and focus on other things, but you can rely. I always enjoy watching Coach Montgomery on the sideline working with kids because he's always teaching them, always coaching them up and things like that. And so I think that's great, for you to have that support. And then we take it a step further. You talked about our training staff. I mean, we've got collegiate background, came from a college university. We've got our downstairs, our director of athletic performance, NFL guy for 20 years. So it's really awesome to have that support when kids come here to be able to tap into that experience.
Yeah, so I think everyone's kind of working well together, and it's not one coach that's in charge of several different things. It's I think we have pieces in place and everyone's working together well. And we're trying to make sure that we're still pushing towards getting our guys better, and hopefully that's showing up on Friday nights. And we've talked about that with our team. And we're 3-6 right now. It's if you look at record wise, I mean it's one of the tougher records we've had over the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Sure.
But I think part of that is just to how young that we are. We've played a tough schedule. We've had some tough breaks in there as well. And we talked about our virtue of the week being steadfast, being firm and unwavering in your convictions. And, I really the message to the team was, it's bigger than – everyone talks about playing football is awesome because you're doing something that's – being a part of something that's bigger than yourself. And being steadfast is bigger than just this one game coming up or this season that's finishing. It's really about this program that's going to last much longer than the players in the program or the coaches in it right now. It's a program that's going to be lasting for a long time. And so how are you going to be involved in that program and push this program forward? And we want momentum going into playoffs. We want to give our 5 seniors an awesome way to finish the year on their senior night and maybe make a playoff run. But also we want to move this program forward and make sure that we have momentum going into the offseason and momentum going into next year. And so sometimes, especially with a season where you're 3-6, it's easy for players to kind of look forward to, what am I going to do when I don't have football, and maybe play some church league basketball or hang out with my friends more and all that. And I think our group has a good understanding of, like, let's not start looking past what we have in front of us right now, and let's make sure that we're staying steadfast in our convictions. We're firm and unwavering in what we're trying to do and living and competing like Christ and choosing the shield, living by our 4 core values. Our juniors, they have 12 guaranteed games left in their high school career right now. When I told them that the other day, all their eyes got big because they're not even thinking about their senior season yet. But really, essentially, they're seniors right now. They got just a few games left. And I asked some of our seniors, in our team meeting, like, how fast did it go? And every year they all do the same thing. They snap their fingers. And you don't realize it until you're in that position. And we try to talk to these guys. Don't take any of it for granted. So.
Well, let's talk about a guy that we both coached this year. My joke is, as the golf coach here, I coach the athletes, but right. We have an athlete.
We had to steal the athletes from
you did, and talk about Luke Latham, who had a 93-yard kick return for a touchdown on Friday night. Talk about the impact that he's had. And, when you're at a smaller school, I think it's important, and this is important anywhere, for athletes to play multiple sports. You hear this from college coaches all the time, and you hear it in the professional. We want kids that have played multiple sports, not just focused on one sport. But Luke Latham is one that you came through. We said, hey, he talked to you all, and boom, he's now playing. If we call golf a sport, it's a game maybe. But talk about Luke on Friday night and what he's done this year.
He did a great job, and he stepped in. First year in the program, has played lacrosse for a while, and wanted to give football a shot. And we worked him in. It wasn't like he just came in and wowed everybody. I mean, he came in and really started learning, making sure that he was coachable and doing the things that we were asking him to do. And and some at the end of, I think, the Brentwood scrimmage that we had, he got in and made some plays. And then the first couple JV games, he was making some plays, and so we started throwing him in some varsity reps, and all of a sudden he's a starter for us at corner. We realized he had a little bit of speed, so we put him back there at kick returner, and we finally had one where we were able to put all the blocking together, and he's able to outrun a few guys through the end zone, which was a huge play in the game. They had just scored to tie it up. He takes one back 93 yards, and all of a sudden we're up again. And so, yeah, he's done a great job. Coachable, athletic, a guy that fits in well with our locker room. You always are hesitant about bringing guys onto the team who haven't been with you from the start of freshman year, because you're not sure how that's going to affect the locker room chemistry. But,
Sure.
It was a seamless transition for him and for our team, and he's been a good asset for us.
Excellent. Well, Nina Howdeshell now is going to talk to Luke Latham, and then we're going to step over and look at some plays from Friday night.
I'm with Luke Latham, our Student Athlete of the Week. Last Friday, Luke had a 93-yard kickoff return for his first touchdown of the season. Luke, talk a little bit about that moment.
Yeah, it was pretty electric. Ran down the sideline, got in the end zone, celebrating with all my guys. It was a great time.
And Luke, you didn't start off this season on the football team. You actually started off on the golf team. Talk about that.
Yeah, made the team. I was a big JV player. Wanted to stay in shape. Saw some good opportunities on the football team, so joined there, and it's worked out pretty well.
What's been the toughest part of your transition?
Definitely learning the plays. There's a lot of technique that goes into it, and building a good bond with my teammates. Make sure we got our back.
Okay, now it's time for the rapid fire questions. Number 1, what is your favorite college or professional football team?
University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Okay, what is your go-to meal after a big game?
Gonna have to be some B-dubs.
Okay, do you like the beach or the mountains better?
Beach.
What is the last show you binged?
Trailer Park Boys.
And what is your hype song on game day?
Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill.
Thanks a lot, Nina. And now we're going to go to Coach to break down some plays. Take it away, Coach.
Thank you. So this is one of our plays from the first drive of the game for our defense. We have 3rd and 4 on the 27-yard line. So we do a good job here of seeing the blocks coming downhill, and Kyron Coleman ends up making a tackle in the backfield, setting up a 4th down. I'll show you from the end zone shot here just kind of what we're looking at. We do a good job of angling up front, again crossing faces, and then we see that gap open up right there for Kyron in the A-gap. He does a good job. We've been working all year about, once you see it, go shoot it. So he goes down and shoots the gap right here, ends up making a nice tackle for a loss. Sets up a 4th and 6, which we end up getting a stop on that first drive of the game, which was a big play for us. We talked about earlier special teams being a big play, having big plays all game. This is Luke Latham's 93-yard touchdown return. We do a good job of kind of sealing blocks right here. We're trying to log these guys in, get a kick out right here, give a lane for Luke to run, and then he's able to just outrun the coverage right there. This was a huge play. Chattanooga Christian had just scored to tie the game up, and then Luke takes us back for a touchdown and gets us the lead back. In this play right here, so we end up going down and scoring a field goal at the end of the first half to take a 7-point lead going into halftime. And this is the play that really set up our 2-minute drive. We're in a trips formation, so 3 spread out receivers, receiver up top. Usually we have a tight end or 2 tight ends in the game. They're expecting pass here for a 2-minute drive. Coach Park calls a nice running play right here where we're going to pull both our backside guard and backside tackle right here. And you'll see one of them gets up to the second level, so we're going to kick out. He gets up to the safety, and Elijah has a nice 25-yard run to kind of get us in the Chattanooga Christian territory, and that really sets up our drive to be able to get some points before the half. So again, you see our guard right here, Drew Price kicking out. Jarius Jones wraps up, is able to get on number 40, the safety. It allows the running lane there for Elijah.
So Clausen Group Realtors, we're a small niche shop, and we help people buy and sell their properties. We're involved with people when they buy and sell. They're not just a number.
I'm a buyer specialist. All I do is help people find their next perfect home. And I'm in homes every day. If I'm not showing, then I'm previewing, so I know what's out there on the market.
The experience with Matt and his group here at Clausen Realty was amazing. It was very much a family environment. It was very professional. It was incredible. I feel like we made friends for life.
So if you need to sell a home or buy a home, our website is www.clausengrouprealtors.com.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, that's going to be our mission to our customers, is to always improve the quality of life. That's from taking care of your pest to a friendly voice on the phone when you call, to a technician that comes out, he's competent, he's going to solve the problem for you. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Welcome back. We are joined by Director of Campus Ministry and good friend Josh Strope. Probably not something you're going to see a lot of other coaches shows to have a Director of Campus Ministry. This is probably going to be the only one you're going to see that. Josh, tell us a bit about your background. This is your third year here at Pope.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm my third year here at Pope, as Kyle said. I'm from Florida originally, born and raised down there. Decided that, I wanted something a little different. Get out of the heat, get out of all that craziness in Florida, and God brought me here to Tennessee.
Well, it's a big week here at Pope because we're having Pope Week. For people not familiar with that, even for parents that are familiar with that, tell us a little bit about Pope Week and what that entails.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously everything we do here revolves around Pope, specifically Pope John Paul II, our namesake, and his feast day, the day that the Catholic Church remembers him, is October 22nd. And so what we try to do is we try to plan what is essentially like a homecoming week for our campus ministry department around that feast day. And this year it was this past Sunday. So this week we've been spending trying to raise awareness in our student body for who John Paul II was, why our students should care about him, what his spirituality, his faith life means in 2023 in Central Tennessee. So we've had a middle school retreat day yesterday that went fairly well around John Paul II and his spirituality. We're having Jeopardy this afternoon for our students to learn a little bit more about John Paul II as well, or maybe to realize how much there is to learn still. And then Friday, our big culmination of this week is that we get to have our shepherd, our Bishop Spalding, on campus to say Mass for us, for some guests. We're fully expecting to have close to 1,000 people at that Mass to celebrate what Pope means, and specifically to celebrate with our local shepherd.
And it's a big deal to have the bishop on campus that will be here for all school Mass. Also, we close with house games on Friday, and the various houses here talk a little bit about the games, even though you don't run the games, but it's all part of the celebration for the week.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, it is a big deal. Bishop Spalding really takes a direct interest in everything that goes on in his Catholic schools around the diocese, and to have him be here, not only in popping his head into a classroom setting, but also to lead us in prayer, really shows where his heart is and where his priority is, that he is our pastor, he's our shepherd, he's our leader, and we get a chance to learn from him, from his example, and from the time he takes from his busy schedule to be with us. And then, not only getting a chance to pray together, but have some fun as well. So in the afternoon, we'll have some house games, we'll be competitive, we run our house system. It's directly like the Harry Potter house system, I guess, if you want to think about it that way. Named after popes throughout the history of the Catholic Church, and so we get to be competitive. We get to air it out a little bit in the dodgeball court or playing cornhole or trivia or what have you to really kind of spark that competitive spirit. It's a beautiful thing. St. John Bosco said that when you're playing, you're not sinning. So we get a chance to get together. We get a chance to play, to have some fun, and really be a big happy Pope family.
Awesome. Thank you to Josh Strope. When we come back, we're going to talk FRA this Friday night.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike? Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
So Clausen Group Realtors, we're a small niche shop, and we help people buy and sell their properties. We're involved with people when they buy and sell. They're not just a number.
I'm a buyer specialist. All I do is help people find their next perfect home. And I'm in homes every day. If I'm not showing, then I'm previewing, so I know what's out there on the market.
The experience with Matt and his group here at Clausen Realty was amazing. It was very much a family environment. It was very professional. It was incredible. I feel like we made friends for life.
So if you need to sell a home or buy a home, our website is www.clausengrouprealtors.com.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, that's going to be our mission to our customers, is to always improve the quality of life. That's from taking care of your past to a friendly voice on the phone when you call, to a technician that comes out, he's competent, he's going to solve the problem for you. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Friday night, senior night here. Talk a little bit about, you're going to have 5 seniors here. Of course, one will not be here, Patrick Collins, who is in South America at the moment. I think we've got students while this is being filmed watching his sister play on the U.S. national team for soccer, which is really cool. But talk about the seniors. It's a small group this year, and what they've kind of meant to the program as we prepare for senior night.
Yeah, so I mean, this group has been put in a unique situation, just being a small group and trying to lead a team that is coming out off of a senior class that was, talent-wise, one of the best senior classes that we've had come through this program. We graduated 21 seniors last year, and 6 or 7 went and go on and play at Division I level, and you got a few more play at some smaller schools there as well. And so now you have this small senior class, which a lot of guys hadn't had a ton of experience. You got Elijah coming back, at running back, but the rest of the guys were really playing behind the previous senior class, and so they're learning how to figure out how to lead this team. And I think they've done a great job, and I've mentioned this several times. Over the course of the year, like this team does a good job and has improved our program as far as the mentality and learning how to practice and learning to do things that we're asking them to do. They still have a long way to go, but our practices are better than they've been in a long time. The guys want to get better. They want to continue playing. The season has been a tough one for us. Like I said, being 3-6, so it's easy to kind of pack it in and just kind of, is it basketball season yet, and those kind of things. But these guys are still playing hard. They still think that they can improve. They still want to improve. They're still trying to, make a run in the playoffs, and we're excited about the opportunity to do that. We got a tough region opponent with FRA on senior night. It's going to be cool for a senior night because you have, both of those seniors played under 2 head coaches, and they're both going to be there for that senior night stuff, and I think that would be special for them. And
talk a little bit about, so this is the first time, obviously, Coach Geis left here a couple of years ago, someone that you coached here under, coach defense coordinator and stuff. How tough that is, but what a cool moment it is also to be able to go head-to-head against your former person who's now at FRA.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about what he meant to the program here and now that he's gone.
Well, I mean, you talk about turning the program around, and that's what he was able to do as a head coach. He's the one who kind of brought me back here as a defensive coordinator for that 2016 season. I remember having conversations about what his vision of the program was, and kind of gave my thoughts on what my vision was, and we kind of synced up a lot on those things. And it was fun to be able to kind of help him build that over the last 6 or 7 years. And when he moved on to FRA, and it's it's one of those things where you realize how much you learn from that coach when you start taking over and doing things, and you do a lot of things similar, and then you tweak a few things that you want to change and do differently. But I said the biggest takeaway I took from Coach Geis was, he does things the right way as far as he understands the broader mission of stuff.
Sure.
And obviously his organization and discipline, I think he brought a lot of that to our program, and a lot of that's still kind of instilled in our program too. So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. Anybody who's competitive likes competing against friends, and it's going to be a fun game.
How much of it is a challenge when, and it's the same you could ask them, but for somebody that you know inside and out, they know you inside and out, when it comes to trying to call a game because you know your tendencies, or is it just line up, go make plays?
No, you have to account for that a little bit. I'm assuming all their calls are going to be pretty much the same as ours. And so you have to maybe start huddling a little bit more, because both of us do kind of check with me from the sideline, call plays at the line. You have to adjust for some of that stuff. I'm sure they're talking to their team about here's some things that we see them do that we know that they do. Sure. Because we were with them coaching with it. And defensively, we're running the same defense that we've been running the last several years, so they know all that stuff. And so yeah, you have to account for that. You have to be careful about trying to account for that stuff without changing your whole identity offensively and defensively. I think we have a good plan going into Friday night. I'm assuming that they will too, to account for all that stuff.
Not to get too far ahead, but playoffs right around the corner. Our spot, no matter what happens Friday night, is pretty much set. Going to West Tennessee, one way or the other, that's still up in the air. Probably going to South Haven, Mississippi, which sounds odd, correct?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. There's still a scenario out there where we could be playing in Jackson, Tennessee. But yeah, we're going to go play the number 2 seed out of the West region. We're pretty much locked into the 4th seed out of the middle region. So, be a good opportunity for us. This is what we've talked about all year is, once the regular season is done, then, it's a new season. Everyone starts fresh, and there's teams every year that kind of that make a run that maybe didn't have the stellar record in the regular season, but figure some things out at the right time, and that's what we're looking forward to.
We're going to step over and look at some plays now.
All right, we're going to take a look at FRA and their offense and defense. Here they're on the defensive side in the Navy jerseys here. They're a 3-4 team. They usually play cover 1 or cover 0. So what that means, in cover 1, they'll have one deep high safety look, and they'll be playing man-to-man coverage across. Right here, they're in a cover 0 look. You see this safety over the tight end right there. That's his man. We got another safety over the number 2 receiver that are corners right here. So they're going to get a lot of guys in the box. They're going to stop the run first. They're very aggressive. They do a good job of that. This is a formation, similar formation to what we run. You see they have 5 offensive linemen and tight ends, so there's 6 blockers for the running back, and they got 5 on the line plus 2 linebackers, so they're plus 1 in the box. That's what they're counting on. They're going to try to make teams beat them in the passing game, and you can see they're doing a good job coming off the line. Linebackers are aggressive, so we got to make sure that we do a good job. Our offensive line come off the ball, sustaining blocks, getting up to the second level, and making sure we can give Elijah some running room this week. Offensively, so this is, again, FRA is in the Navy jerseys. This is the exact same formation. They run similar formations to what we run, so we're used to seeing this kind of stuff. They do a good job. They run a lot of gap schemes, so they'll have pulling linemen, they'll kick out blocks, have linemen wrapping up. They got a really good senior running back. I think their tight end does a great job. Their offensive line is very good about coming off the ball hard, sustaining blocks, and getting up to the second level. Here they like to pull the tackle. This is one of their favorite plays. Well, they'll pull this tight end and kick out the inmate on the line of scrimmage. The tackle will pull and wrap up to the linebacker, and then they'll hand the ball off up inside to the running back. He does a good job of getting downhill, finding some room to run, and he runs the ball hard. So we're going to have all 11 guys to the ball, make sure we're wrapping up, running our feet, and not giving up big plays.
Excellent, Coach. Friday night, 7 o'clock, be here. Come support these seniors for the final home game for the season. Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. You've been watching the Pope Prep High School Football Coaches Show with Kyle Reynolds and Pope Prep head football coach Brian Sneed. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest news about Pope Prep High School football. The Pope Prep High School Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Clausen Group Realtors and by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.